You know that movie where a guy in a boat saves a Native American girl? Yeah, that's Pocahontas. But guess what? Avatar just walked into that scene and took the lead role with a whole new set of problems. Pocahontas had a tragic colonial-era storyline. But Avatar? That's a full-on sci-fi epic with aliens, robots, and a whole lot of existential angst. Yeah, that's a real upgrade. Pocahontas had a love triangle. Avatar? It's a love quadrilateral with a side plot about saving the world and a whole bunch of genetically engineered animals. Pocahontas was a cultural icon. Avatar? It's a cinematic revolution with groundbreaking motion capture and a soundtrack that could soundtrack a revolution. Yeah, it's a whole new kind of story. So here's the thing, Pocahontas had a message. Avatar? It's a message with a side of interstellar drama, existentialism, and a whole lot of eye candy. In short, Avatar didn't just steal Pocahontas. It upgraded the whole damn genre, and now we're all just watching the future. So what exactly are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a movie that didn't just copy Pocahontas. It basically rewrote the whole damn story, just with better CGI and a lot less colonial trauma. Avatar is basically Pocahontas with more action, more explosions, and a whole lot less moral ambiguity. The only difference is, in Avatar, the noble savage is a guy who can breathe underwater and shoot lasers. Pocahontas was a real person, and Avatar is a fictional world. But let's be real, both of them are getting accused of the same thing: romanticizing indigenous people while ignoring the actual history of violence and colonization. So we're not just comparing storylines, we're comparing the way both movies handle the complex, often tragic, and deeply real relationship between settlers and indigenous people. And let's be honest, Avatar wins the more spectacle category by a landslide. But here's the real question. Why does Avatar get a pass for stealing Pocahontas' story, while Pocahontas gets all the blame for being insensitive? Because one has a budget and the other doesn't, obviously. So what are we talking about? We're talking about a story that's been told, stolen, reimagined, and now being rebranded as something new. All while the real people behind the story are still waiting for their own version. You think Pocahontas is a Disney princess? Think again. Avatar just rewrote the rules of storytelling, and you're paying for it with your soul. Avatar didn't just make a movie, it made a statement. A statement about who gets to be the hero and who gets to be the sidekick. Pocahontas is a cultural icon, but Avatar, it's the new gold standard. And now, it's rewriting the narrative for everyone. You might not care about this, but you're already in the story. And the story? It's not just about saving the world, it's about who gets to be the one who saves it. So yeah, maybe you don't care about Avatar stealing Pocahontas, but you do care about who gets to be the hero, and that's the real story. So we're here to talk about how Avatar just stole Pocahontas. Wait, what? No, not the Disney one, the real one. The one who was like the original American hero. Pocahontas was the original indigenous storyteller, diplomat, and kinda the OG feminist. She was like, hey, let's not kill each other, let's make peace. And then she got kidnapped, which is kind of the plot of her Disney movie, which is kind of the plot of Avatar. Avatar takes that idea and turns it into a sci-fi epic. It's like, okay, let's make a space Pocahontas who's also a pacifist, but with more explosions and less actual diplomacy. And honestly, that's kind of the whole point. So the real question is, did Avatar rip off Pocahontas, or did Pocahontas just get a better Hollywood rewrite? Either way, it's a weird story with a lot of drama, and probably some real historical trauma. In the end, it's not really about who stole whom, it's about who gets to tell the story. And in Hollywood, that's usually whoever has the best special effects and the least amount of actual history. So next time you watch Avatar, just remember, it's not just a sci-fi movie. It's a modern retelling of an ancient story. And maybe, just maybe, it's a little bit of a cover-up. So, Avatar is basically a fancy, high-tech Pocahontas. Both are about a white guy who gets lost in the jungle and falls in love with a native girl. Pocahontas had bows and arrows. Avatar has a bow and arrow too, just more glitter and lights. Pocahontas had a tragic backstory. Avatar has a tragic backstory. Both involve being stolen from their people and forced into a love triangle. Pocahontas had a happy ending. Avatar has a happy ending. Both the hero and the love interest live happily ever after, just in different worlds. So in short, Avatar is just Pocahontas, but with better CGI, more explosions, and a bigger budget. And that's how Avatar just stole Pocahontas. Fair play, though. The guy had good taste in love stories. So let's start with the setup. Because Avatar is basically a 3D Pocahontas with better special effects and a lot more breathing room. You know, like a Disney movie that's been upgraded to a Marvel movie. The setup is simple. A young woman, raised by nature, gets caught in a war between two powerful groups, and somehow she becomes the key to ending it. Oh, and she also has the power of the spirits, because of course, in Pocahontas, it's a love story with a side of diplomacy. In Avatar, it's a love story with a side of war and a whole lot of environmental commentary. But hey, both are basically about a girl who can talk to animals. The setup is so similar it's like a time-traveling Disney princess accidentally stepped into a sci-fi movie. Both are about a woman who's more than she seems, and both are about a world that's more than it seems. So the first step is the setup, and it's a setup that's been stolen. Because Avatar didn't just copy Pocahontas, it just gave it a better soundtrack and more explosions. So here's the thing, Pocahontas had the whole saving the colonists thing, but Avatar, they're saving the planet. It's like, oh, I'm not just a mascot for a corporation, I'm a planetary savior. Avatar gives us a whole new kind of hero, not just a noble savage, but a hero who's also a scientist, a warrior, and a guy who wears a really cool exosuit. And let's not forget, in Avatar, the real hero isn't even human. That's not just a twist, that's a revolution. You can't say that about Pocahontas. Avatar took the heroic indigenous trope and blew it up into a cosmic spectacle. Pocahontas was a story. Avatar, it's a universe. So yeah, Pocahontas was a symbol. Avatar, it's a whole damn world, and we're all just here for the ride. So here's the thing, Avatar doesn't just steal Pocahontas, it steals the whole damn story. It takes the myth, the magic, the mysticism, and wraps it in a sci-fi package so sleek. It's basically a cyberpunk Pocahontas. It's like if Disney had a secret lab where they took every sacred story from every culture and then made a movie about a guy who can't even talk to his girlfriend. It's like the universe is saying, hey, we've got these rich, complex stories. Why don't you just give them a sci-fi makeover and call it original? And honestly, who needs a real Pocahontas when you can have a Na'vi princess with a better soundtrack and more existential dread? So yeah, Avatar didn't just steal Pocahontas. It stole the whole damn world, and we're all just here, watching it happen. Avatar's bending physics aren't just cool. They are a direct steal from Pocahontas' floating arrow. Pocahontas' arrow was a magical moment. Avatar's bending is just a more expensive version of the same trick. Both use ancient magic to make physics bend. One's a Disney princess, the other a Na'vi warrior, same vibe, different costumes. Avatar's tech is more advanced, but Pocahontas' magic is more poetic. It's like comparing a Tesla to a magic carpet. The real theft, the science of wonder. Both films use magic to make the impossible feel real. One just used more CGI. So, in the end, Avatar didn't just steal Pocahontas' arrow. It stole the entire idea of making physics feel magical. So imagine Pocahontas is like a classic Disney princess, but instead of a castle, she's got a tribe, and instead of a prince, she's got a colonizer. It's like if Snow White had to save her own skin from a guy with a sword and a hat. Avatar is like the next-gen Disney princess, but instead of a magic mirror, it's a Na'vi avatar, and instead of a prince, it's a guy in a suit who thinks he's the hero. It's the same story, just with more aliens and less moral ambiguity. Pocahontas was the original I'll save you, even though I don't like you, but Avatar just copied that exact vibe, just with more explosions and less cultural context. It's like a sequel that's also a remake of the original. The only real difference is that Avatar had more CGI and less guilt. Pocahontas had more heart and less budget, but both made the same mistake, trying to make a hero out of a person who's just trying to survive. So yeah, Avatar didn't just steal Pocahontas, It rebranded her, gave her a better suit, and added a few explosions for good measure. It's like a cultural fast food franchise, same story, just more sauce. So here's the thing, the part where Kayla, the avatar of the Earth, gets her powers from the Earth itself. Sounds like a plot twist from a 1990s movie, right? But no, it's not made up. It's the core of the story. Avatar isn't just a story about a guy who becomes a god. It's about a girl who becomes a force of nature, and that force is the Earth itself. It's poetic, it's radical, and it's not at all subtle. Avatar doesn't just borrow from Pocahontas, it outdoes it. It doesn't just tell a story about a girl and the land. It makes the land the protagonist. The Earth is the hero, and it's not a metaphor, it's a revolution. So when you hear the part that sounds like it was made up, like the Earth giving power to a human, don't roll your eyes. That's the real magic. That's the story that's not just borrowed, it's stolen, and it's glorious. So you think Pocahontas was the first to ever be a Disney hero? Oh, please. Avatar just walked into the room, pulled out a bow and arrow, and said, "I've been waiting for this." Avatar's Na'vi are not just Native American-inspired. They are a full-on cultural revolution. Disney? They're still stuck in the 1990s, trying to sell a metaphor. Pocahontas had a story. Avatar had a universe. Disney tried to make her a hero but forgot to give her a reason to care. Avatar, they gave her a planet, a culture, and a reason to fight. Sure, Pocahontas had a tragic ending, but Avatar, they gave her a legacy, a world, a people. And somehow it's still playing in theaters. So yay, Pocahontas was the first. But Avatar, they stole the show. And honestly, they're better at it. So they say Pocahontas was the first to do this. But let's be real. Avatar did it better, with more explosions and fewer actual humans. Pocahontas had the whole saving the world thing going on. But she had to do it with a bow and a few dramatic speeches. Avatar's version of saving the world had more action, more style, and way more coolness. Like, the kind of cool that makes you want to rewatch it 10 times. Pocahontas was groundbreaking, sure, but Avatar, that's the kind of groundbreaking that's still playing in the background of your mind. So yeah, myth number 2 is busted. Pocahontas started it, but Avatar took it to the next level with more drama, more visuals, and way more explosions. You think Pocahontas is a Disney villain? No. You're just living in a world where Avatar stole her story, and you didn't even notice. Every time you watch a movie about a noble savage, you're really watching Avatar in a costume. It's like a remake that got better with time. You're paying for the cultural theft in your ticket prices, and you're smiling. That's the real magic of Avatar. It's not just a movie, it's a corporate branding strategy. Even your favorite yoga instructor is an Avatar clone. They just dress it up with mindfulness and a little bit of nature, and now you're all connected to the Earth. Avatar didn't just steal Pocahontas. It stole your entire worldview. And now you're too busy scrolling to notice. So here's the thing, folks. Avatar didn't just copy Pocahontas, it made a TikTok trend out of it. You know, the whole spirit animal vibe, but with a side of colonial trauma. And let's not forget the Avatar. The Last Airbender vibes, it's like a spiritual cousin to the original, just with more CGI and less moral ambiguity. The real kicker, it's not just about the plot, it's about the vibe. Avatar took the sacred, the spiritual, the indigenous, and turned it into a blockbuster. And somehow, it still feels like a dream. So yeah, Avatar didn't just borrow, it borrowed with flair, with flair, with flair. And honestly, it's the only way this story could have gone. Avatar didn't just make the box office scream, it made the whole world go, oh, wow, that's not how we do this. It didn't just break records. It broke the rules, and the rules were like, hey, we didn't expect a fishman to be the next big thing. It didn't just steal the spotlight. It stole the entire planet's attention and still had enough left to start a sequel. So yeah, Avatar didn't just steal Pocahontas. It stole the future, and the future still has a lot of fish in it. Pocahontas is a hero, Avatar is a movie, and somehow, the sequel to Pocahontas just got the plot of Avatar. It's like the universe is trying to make us all feel bad about ourselves. Avatar had a whole universe, a whole language, and a whole alien culture. Pocahontas had a forest, a tribe, and a very specific brand of colonial trauma. But somehow, Avatar got the better story. Pocahontas had heart, Avatar had technology. Pocahontas had a story, Avatar had a franchise. And yet, somehow, Avatar stole the plot, the themes, the whole vibe. It's like the universe is trying to make us all feel bad about ourselves. It's not just the plot, it's the whole damn world. The way they built a culture, the way they connected with nature, the way they made a story about identity and belonging. Avatar did it better, and we're all just watching. So yeah, Pocahontas had a story. Avatar had a world. And somehow, the sequel to Pocahontas just got the plot of Avatar. The universe is trying to make us feel bad about ourselves. Again, before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.